master the basics of Aikido, you will be able to react flexibly to the attack of one or more armed opponents. Aikido techniques were designed to allow a person to deal with more than one opponent. We will now introduce to you a variation of Shiho Nage and Kokyu Nage in a 2-on-1 situation. When two opponents approach you from your sides and grab your wrist using both hands, respond by pivoting to your left and grab both of their right forearms from the inside. Raise your arms as you step forward with your left foot and pivot to your right. Then throw your opponents by cutting your arms down as you would a sword.
二人掛けの場合も相手が一人の時と同じ心構えが大切です。相手が二人であることを意識せず、楽な気持ちで臨んでください。
When two opponents approach you from your sides and grab your wrists using both hands, respond by raising both hand blades up as you maximize your breath power, and then step out with your left foot before pivoting to your right. Guide your opponents with both hand blades as you throw them to your left by swinging your arms down. This technique has many possible variations, such as the following. When your opponents grab your wrists, raise your hand blades in a spiral motion, concentrating your energy in your fingertips. Then step forward with your left leg and cut down with both arms to throw your opponents. A key characteristic of Aikido is its adaptability in defense, even when one is attacked by a sword, staff, knife, or other weapon. There are many different training methods designed for learning how to deal with scenarios involving weapons. Weapon versus empty hand and weapon versus weapon are just two examples. Today we will go over a few techniques for empty hand versus weapon scenario. When your opponent strikes at your face with a knife in his right hand, Step in with your left foot and thrust his right elbow upward with your hand blades. Next, grab your opponent's right elbow with your left hand and his right wrist with your right hand. Step forward as you stretch your opponent's right arm by thrusting your arm forward. To disarm him, bend his right arm so that the back of his hand is beneath his elbow, and then push him down.
担当取りの場合、相手との間合いを考え、担当を意識せず、都市と同じような気持ちで臨むことが大切です。
For Ula waza, step forward a little with your left foot as you do an arimi and take control of your opponent by forcing his left elbow upward with both hand blades. Next, grab his right wrist with your right hand and pivot as you take control of his right elbow with your left hand blade. Lock his right arm down before you disarm him. When your opponent attempts to strike the side of your hand with a knife in his right hand, block his right arm with your left hand blade. Grab your opponent's right wrist with your right hand and his right elbow with your left hand. Step in and break his balance by swinging your arms down. Finally, take the knife by stretching and locking his arm. For waza, first step in to strike your opponent's face with your right hand blade and block his right arm with your left hand. Next, take him down by swinging your arms down after you grab his right inner wrist with your right hand and his right elbow with your left hand. Stretch his right arm to take the knife. When your opponent thrusts at you with a knife in his right hand, first ilimi, and then pivot to your right as you grab your opponent's right wrist with your left hand and bring it to your shoulder. As you shift to the right, apply your right hand as well to break his balance. Twist your body from the hip to the left as you apply pressure to his right elbow with your left arm. Lock his elbow and take the knife. When your opponent thrusts at you with a knife in his right hand, ilimi to his right side as you would in ski kotegaishi. Do your sabaki by first pivoting to your opponent's rear, and then throw him by turning his right wrist out and twisting his body. Finally, take his knife. When your opponent attempts to strike the side of your head with a knife in his right hand, form hand blades and swing them down at him as you pivot. Next, grab his right wrist using both hands and step in as you swing them upwards. Rotate, cut your hand blades down, and take away the knife. Next, we will demonstrate Tachidori. When your opponent strikes at you with a sword, irimi to his right side and control his right arm with your left hand blade. Pivot right to your opponent's rear and break his balance by grabbing the back of his right hand along with the sword with your right hand and pivot further. Step back with your left foot, pivot again, and throw. Pin your opponent after turning him over.
この技ではタッチを意識せず、相手との間合いを十分考え、しっかりと入り身します。トシと同様の足さばきにより、相手を投げるよう心がけます。
When your opponent attempts to strike you with the sword, do an atemi with your right hand as you irimi. Pivot and control the sword by grabbing the handle with your right hand blade. Step in with your right foot using your opponent's body movement as a cue. Cut your right hand blade down and hold onto the sword in order to throw your opponent. 'Finally, we will demonstrate a few Jodori techniques. When your opponent attempts to strike you, irimi to his left and control the staff by grasping it with your left hand. Lower the staff as much as possible as you push your opponent down by sweeping his face from below the chin with your right arm.
この技では、トシより間合いが広くなります。したがって、しっかりと入り身をし、側面に素早く入ることが重要となります。
When your opponent attempts to strike you with the staff, immediately irimi to his left side. With your left hand, grab one end of the staff, and with your right hand, grab the staff between your opponent's hands. Step out with your right leg as you lower the tip of the staff, and then throw your opponent by thrusting the other end towards him and then down. When your opponent attempts to strike you with the staff, irimi to his left side and grab one end of the staff with your left hand, and grab the staff in between his hands with your right hand. Take a big step forward and raise your arms. Rotate forward and then bring your arms down to throw your opponent and disarm him. This concludes our demonstration of Ninnin Gake and Buki Waza variations. Your defense should be the same regardless of the number of your opponents. You should advance into Buki Waza only after you have completely mastered the empty-handed techniques. Without a firm grasp of the empty-handed techniques, you are likely to be overwhelmed by a weapon. It will require serious training in order to learn the innermost secrets of these techniques, and you do not deserve to reach that point until you have gained the essence of the techniques. These are the teaching of Aikido founder Master Moriteru Ueshiba.